I'm channel trading this 5 minute euro dollar. I can see the spread here is a half a pip. And I zoomed in. I fixed the scale on here. If you hit F8 on your keyboard, go to Properties in MetaTrader, and set the common, fix the scale here. So zoom in. After you fix the scale, you can zoom in, and this way you can see the spread and you can see the 5 minute. And if you go to the 4 hour, you'll be able to see the support and resistance going back in time. This is always an easy way to see where you're at in the bigger picture. So you can see this bottom from December. We're retesting that, and we're coming almost back into this top. So this closing, which was the entry for that December rally on the 4 hour, and here was the rollover here. The top becomes a bottom, this big cluster here, big debate. When this failed, this bottom became a top failure, and then you dip back in the well here. So now the question is, can we go after the people that have stops here today? I'm going to try to go after the bulls here on the news. Pop down in there. I put this big, huge scalp bank in there. And that's my strategy. And then as we're dropping here, on the 5 minute, I'll be putting buy stops in to try to get picked up. If this is about as far as they can squeeze it, then this is where I get in on the 5 minute. Got this is the trend line to break, and the major, the bigger time frame trend line and the smaller time frame trend line is going to be a steeper like this, and then this would be the projected continuation channel that we're going to walk down here, and also the chart shift turned on so that I can at least predict the future. You have to predict the future, even if you're wrong, because if you know the pattern, you have to trade in front of the pattern. So if you turn that chart shift on, it's going to jump everything. You can also drag this and plan out all next week. And the idea here is to get in as this thing drops over time to time your entry. So you catch a falling knife, basically. This thing's walking down this stairway here. So the British pound right now is at fair value on the 5 minute, and I'm going long that thing on stops. And this, sometimes these currencies sync up together, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they'll move against each other really hard, and so if you're going to trade the 5 minute chart and you got both guys on the 5 minute, you can pretty much see who's leading. You know, I mean, it's not rocket science. If you have two monitors, 5 minute charts, same instrument, I mean, different instruments, same time frame, you're like, oh yeah, they took it back to the middle. They took it to the 50-yard line, which is fair value if you consider, and this is the 100-yard line, and there's a triple bottom in wicks here, but there's only one time bottom, which is that 5 minute. They press it down in there, and if you're buying as that plunges, boom, boom, boom key, or you got buy stops riding in there, whatever, nice swing up into what is previously support, it's become resistance. Like really kind of silly stuff. But this on the 5 minutes tradable, right? And this is 25 pips from here, this dotted line to here, and this is actually the 100. This is the 109. So I'm looking to make, I'm looking for this thing to sweep up, and my first target really has to be here. Second one's here, and third one's here, obviously. And if this doesn't hold as resistance, now for all the bears, they're ready to sell maybe here. Like, you have to play out the scenario of how this thing's going to get up here for a sell. It has to, for it to hold that trend line, it's only got so much time to make it. It can't just, well, I guess when the news comes out, it could spike to here. It's still a great place to sell. So in the end, it really doesn't matter, right? You always have to sell high, buy low. It's just how much you put on that trade. If this thing's running out of momentum, so look at the 4-hour view here, and you can see what the big traders are, or the big confluence points are here. If you zoom out, and you can go all the way back to here, and you're sitting on this major top where there was all these wicks back in November. You go out another zoom level, and you're revisiting a top here, a top here. That's the 4-hour. If you go to the daily, a little messy on the daily there. Here's the big doji here. So you're sitting right at this major indecision here where it decides all right and then just completely collapses. And those are the trades that are brutal, like this, where you have this doji and people are like, yeah, that's the bottom. I mean, come on, duh. And we're going to go up, and it doesn't happen. Wow. And so you have to be thinking what the people that bought insurance policies are thinking. What if this thing comes all the way down to here? Would you buy it? Like, there's this bottom here, these double bottom here. If you look at this, mark it off and then zoom back out, so you can see that we actually ricocheted off that, and then come back, squinch it down daily, so you can see where that's at. And yeah, I could totally come back to that. And look at this silly stuff here where all the way down to this bottom here. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, these markets are just so silly. You know, look at this touch with this 50 pip wick. And if you waited for that trade, you have more patience than a rock, I suppose, than a brook. And how silly is it that the market closed right at 105 here? 105. And look at that rally. So, yeah, I mean, if you got the patience to wait to get filled on this, so I'm kind of waiting to get filled on this and go to the 5 minute. We're still walking down we're still falling into the abyss here. All right, so I'm going to come back here in 5 minutes before the news. If I haven't blown the account up, I'll be back. Otherwise, I'll be out getting drunk. That's going to be what I have to do. I just noticed something. I have a little technical difficulty, and that is that this broker is closed now. So hopefully this is going to work out, because they're not going to open until, I don't know, I guess they don't open until Monday. That's like 4 days. So hopefully the euro goes up, and because I'm already in this far. And the other account that's in that same brokerage firm never got filled on this big sell bank here. And I just got out of my my Canadian shorts here, because it just didn't. The trade was the failure at this triple top on the 4-hour chart, and there was some scalps there on the 1 hour. But that's kind of a little bit disturbing, and it won't even kill the script because the broker's not open. So any script you drop is just going to crash the platform essentially. But yeah, these are all the 25 pip trades. So this is a lot of fun, range trading. Canadian dollar is like the ultimate range trader's dream. And I guess you could say it was in a trend back here, but wow, if that's a trend, it looks like a psycho spike. Like, this is if that's a trend, that's like the most brutal trend in the world, right? Definitely reaching it's definitely losing its momentum there. So selling off that top resistance, we're getting a wedge. It just means it's just getting quieter. Channel's kind of squeezing a little bit. There's one more gas left in everything. But so I'm going to be just trading the pound now. I'm just long the pound. And I use this other backup broker for the charting. Because, see, there's the euro trade. So on the 5 minute, if you can see the closes in there, just connect the bodies of the candles. Don't connect the wicks necessarily. Chop the wicks off. And right now, this is where I got in. So hopefully there'll be good news over the weekend. And here's the guppy, which is trying to get out from being down. This is 100, I think 100 pips on this thing. That's 50 pips. So every horizontal line is 50 pips. So if you want to make 50 pips, or you want to make 100 pips with a 50 pip stop, or a 25 pip stop to make 35 pips, everything like that. But here's the pound. This is the only one I'm really worried about. I'm afraid the other broker's going to close on me. I thought news is coming out, but jobs report, I mean, I don't know. The stock market closed? I didn't even... Maybe it is closed. I don't know. Yeah, they claim they closed this here, but I don't know. News is coming out? I don't know. Anyways, so now I'm kind of worried because I didn't really check the how they schedule, I guess. Wasn't paying attention. Was absent that day. So maybe I just have to bail in the next, well, just before the news, I'm definitely getting out of this pound trade. So it looks like this right now. And here's the pound of the Swiss. This is already leaving the station pretty hard. After going down this whole time, so, you know, the pound across the boards is pretty much the buy. I mean, if you don't think this is support, then it's at least fair value from way back. Like, there's a double top here, so this is the big agreement zone here. And look at this. This is when they depegged from the... so look at that thing there. So it definitely could come down. It could go up too. I'm not going to really get too... but here was the entry. If you were the guy that trades the half-hour chart, I mean, how hard is this trade, right? Just chop off the wicks. Baby doji just before the breakout, right at the 50-yard line. I don't know if this is really brain surgery. And here is the 50 pip bull trap. If you look at this wick here, this doji, look how they grabbed that inverted hammer, kabam. But came body to body, right? Body to body is, forget the wicks, just body to body. Inverted hammer, but we're off to the races. Okay, I'm looking for a spike, and then I'm going to dump the whole thing, and I guess I have to break out the champagne because apparently the broker I thought I could count on, like, they bailed on me. Okay, so I'm up 1 pip here, and if the world doesn't come to an end, like they say it's gonna. Look at this thing. Euro just getting crushed by Australia. It's like a sports. Look at the volatility on here. Good Lord. In one day. But this is the same reaction the euro had to everything. So the pound. Here's the euro versus the pound. Big euro getting crushed by the pound. Another reason to go long the pound. I don't think I have where's my good old straight dollar to the pound? Pound of the dollar. Don't even think I have it up here. It's just too ordinary. I'm a very sophisticated, look at this trend. Australia CAD. Can you get more of a perfect line than that? That's ridiculous. Look at that puppy. But the spread's kind of brutal here. When's this thing going to crack? Okay, 8 minutes to news. I'm ready to get out. It's getting too squirrely here. So let me find the damn chart of this pound. This is a good old-fashioned, let's see if I got the, okay, this, and then I have this wackadoodle indicator that I wrote. Oh no, that's just non-directional. That works too. Yeah, let's go back to this regular one. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Look at this big pullback on the 5-minute British pound. Here's where the wheels are going to come off. The jobs report comes out. So you don't always want to stick around for this stuff. So that's the 50 pip grid. All right, getting ready to get 6 minutes to go. Looking for a possible pop to the 50-yard line and then dump and reload. I think I can trade this account. I don't know if I get this set up. Here. So there's one buy limit down here. There's a cluster. There's a cluster of buy limits. All right, so 5 minutes to the news. And yeah, you could get a pop just before the news here. And then I'll wait another 5 minutes.
US,
Drop some more.
previous
Okay, so we got 5 minutes to go.
Forecast 274,000.
I don't know how the stock market could be closed though. This was a broker. Okay, they're not showing me any quotes. I don't know. Stock market closed. I'm not really trading stocks on the same platform, so I don't know. Anyways, it's just ridiculous. They really should get rid of these holidays. You know, it's really screwing up my trading. I seem to be, you know, I'm not into this. Oh, we just shut down. Like, could you just send me like a warning or something, or like beep 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 beep? Hey, by the way, we, I mean, really, just before major news, really? Gosh, I don't know. Okay, I'm getting ready to bail on this trade. Yeah, 4-minute warning here. Please don't. Like it or not, the news is in 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to just get out of everything I'm in. Wait for the dust to clear. Here we go. 15 seconds. So yeah, we could go to Wackadoodle Land, and I got my, I only have one script running on this thing, so it's not big enough to blow the account up. Alrighty then. Well, it's out. I don't know what the hell it is. Doesn't seem to be too violent reaction. Oh well. Most brokers are closed. Unemployment claims. It just seems weird. Why would they even come out with that news? I mean, anyways, pretty boring reaction. Still trapped in a 50 pip zone. Oh well. All that excitement for nothing. I guess it's time to go watch the ball drop. I guess you have to give it the 1 minute. The 1 minute rule. It's got to go somewhere. I think up. If you go to the 4 hour, if you think you've trapped the bulls down here below the 50-yard line, I guess you'd have to make that argument. Right there was the trap. They've got them. They're ripping the bears' faces off right now. Okay. Pretty boring. The only way these bears are going to survive it is if they can Keep getting stopped out. I'm sure this is where everybody's putting their stops now. Or at least the robots are going to stack them up here. And you can always buy that. You can always buy that. But I want to get out here. Definitely get out at these doji confluences. Dojis attract the dojis. There's Dojiville here. Pretty brutal, pretty boring end of the year. Not what I wanted to see. I want to see boom, boom, or boom, boom. Okay, we're going up a little bit now. I guess I have about the same patience my broker had when they just turned off their thing. Unbelievable. I thought that I just had a connection issue. But it's worse than that. Gosh. Glad I'm not in that thing there. Well, that's getting its ass kicked. I have my dollar euro. Here's a euro yen. If you're feeling brave. So that's on the way up. So yeah, it looks like I well, doesn't that just beat the living hell out of that? And here's my gold trade. Buying on stops here. Looking for a severe rally in gold. I built a cage around it here. This is the daily chart. So I like geometry. I can't say I like the idea of putting any, like bloodthirsty bats on my screen, but I think you don't have to go too far to see there's a little bit of a rhythm to this thing here. The gold is definitely deep discount. So, okay, finally the pound's making a move. Yeah, finally. So, not much you can do. Here's the pound of the Swiss, kind of climaxing out, trying to sell that guy. This has not left the station. That guppy's dead in the water. Incredible. Real quiet down here. Something's vicious going to go for the upside here, coming on the guppy. As soon as we take that thing out, yikes. But I want to buy 50 pips discount and then put in the buy limits if it goes lower. Gosh, this is just so boring. Anyways, Australia CAD. That's going to be the trend line of the break. Wow. Kind of wicked spread there. But we stepped through the window there. It was all over. Go to the monthly. Out of control. 2 months straight up on that. It's out of control. Severe scalping zone up here. Just put a bunch of cluster banks up here. That's easy money. And they're going to go nuts in that top. End of the year. That weekly. Here's your only doji, your only stop entry. This one you really can't put a stop on that unless you do it internally on those actual highs and lows, because that's just ridiculous. So about 150, 200 pip risk there on the weekly. Boy, unbelievable. Okay, well, you just never know. Just goes to show you. I'll take one last look at the euro dollar and gotta get some of that cheap champagne, the pink stuff. And okay, this trusty template there. Okay, So it looks like I'm up for the moment. Hope a gap opens like when the dollar collapses. So the dollar should collapse right at the end of the year, right? Everybody's going to balance their books, and there's like high drama moves, and people are like, "Whoa, that's crazy." That could happen, right? And look at this engulfing. So you're right in the middle of an engulfing on the monthly, but white knuckle traders are going to buy this bottom here. I mean, that's really the swing trader's dream, is entering right here at the wick. Wick in, wick in, wick out. I mean, look at this puppy. Jeez. This is your only really low risk stop entry, was this 1 month here, and then it was, by the way, just put a trend line on the wicks and you're already into the, you can already see it coming. That there's running out, it's just running out of gas to the downside. And if you had to put a trend line on it, that is not one, that's like a whole euro down. So your trend line's sitting right on the bodies right now, just about to engulf that. Thing is that if this bottom doesn't hold, it's going to be a vicious. And the dollar, and of course, the ultimate target's going to be, like, if you live long enough, ramming back up into the floor it took out. And I guess it's what, at the end of the year, this is it. So we're going to start this new dotted line here, and look at the end of the year sell-off here. So look how the year usually ends, and of course you can't really say that here. This is like climax mid-year, but this reminds me of the Wednesday swing lows. Like, this is a mid-year swing low. Here's the mid-year swing low. This drifts up. Holy crap! This inverted whatever, inverted doji. But that thing that's ridiculous. That's the most punishment I've ever seen of a currency in my lifetime. Look at this chart. This was the big bruiser smash. But where did it end up at? End up in Dojiville all over again. So that's the big deal. 127. Hard to even believe it used to trade at 127 when you're sitting down here near this power target everybody gets all excited about every time. I thought that was coming on the New Zealand dollar once. I really did. I mean, if you look at this New Zealand dollar, go to the monthly. If this guy would have broke out this top, holy mackerel. Let's see, people are getting in here at the retest of this doji on the, right there. So body to body, if you just quarting off the bodies only, like here, or go right in the middle of a doji. So clear the trees here. There is a chance that we could finally take out this thing and just go zooming up, and then you'd have the channel traders that are already getting in on this pullback because of the confluence there. Yeah, and that's it. I guess we'll just have to wait the whole damn weekend again like last week, and I thought I was going to blow my brains out waiting for that. It's just too much fun scalping, and I don't really want to wait 4 days to trade this stuff. So another conspiracy theory proven to be true, that the markets are designed to upset you and annoy you.